Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. Thank you to all my followers and subscribers as we do reviews and factual updates. So thank you. Share it with your friends and family. And if you come across the channel, please don't leave without hitting the likes and subscribe, as we're building a strong community here, as we take great pride in being a channel that focuses on factual information and avoids gossip. For as much as we possibly can, you'll very seldom see us have to get into it. Because 99% of the time it doesn't transpire. And we don't use clickbait to get you here. All right, let's get to it. We're lots of news in this one. We've got so many updates. We're going to give you the review first, then we're going to give you the latest news that came out of Montreal today. This was something we needed, and it happened. All right, because I've been screaming for it for a while. All right, so last night Vegas came to Montreal. We almost blew it. However, we came through in overtime, got a 3-2 victory. Dobes had a very solid game. This was nice to see. He stood tall. He started off a little shaky, but he came into his own, and then he just took over. And he played pretty solid as he got into his groove. So that was good to see from one of our goalies. We needed an effort like that, as we've been having a lot of defensive lapses here and there. And slowly, let's hope one problem solved. Let's hope the problem solve another. All right, let's get right down to it. First period, Vegas comes out and scores. Montreal's already behind the 8 ball. And the officiating I wasn't overly impressed with. Early on, we were getting a lot of penalties, just one direction to Montreal. Just seemed very lopsided of a game. So anyway, second period, it was 2 goals for Montreal. Montreal jumps ahead, goes into the third, and of course, Vegas started really pressuring in the third. And I'd say the last 10 minutes, Montreal kind of was on their heels. And Vegas was really pushing. They got the goal, tied it up, but Montreal came through in overtime thanks to the winner by Jake Evans. Great goal. The goaltender. Final score 3-2 Montreal in overtime. Okay, let's get to the stats. All right, so in this one, 34 shots to 26 for Vegas. So Mr. Dobes was a busy man, and he did a great job. He stopped 32 of 34 shots, which was nice to see. Hits were 24 apiece. Good, solid game. Physically, faceoffs won 22 to 18 in favor of Vegas. Faceoff percentile 55.0 to 45.0 for Vegas. Power play opportunities 3 for Vegas, 4 for Montreal. Power play goals 0. Both of these teams got to work on their power play. Montreal, I don't understand with the talent they have on that power play why they're just, to me, they just seem to want to get that one too many passes, pass, and nobody wants to shoot. All right, shorthanded goals none. Total penalties 4-3 for Vegas, 8-6 in penalty minutes for Vegas. Block shots 15-18 for Montreal. Takeaways was 5-4 for Montreal. Giveaways 12-8 for Vegas. So that's how that went down, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see if we get that one back. Okay, now let's get to the periods. All right, 8:38. Pavel Devor F. Ayeb. I can't even pronounce that. Anyway, he gets his 23rd. He was the one that opens the game, put Vegas up. We go in the second period. Philip Deneau gets a nice goal with just put it on the net. Great. That's a great mindset that Montreal should have because, Zach Bolduc, assisted by Zach Bolduc, and anything can happen. And that was great to see. Cole Caulfield, his hot ways, and that was at 4:24 of the second that we tied it up. I don't know. 8:55, Cole Caulfield, Mr. Hot Man, Goal Caulfield gets an assist by Dobson, and Matheson once again just looks. What more can you say about Goal Caulfield? I mean, he's just done. And then we get so we're up 2-1, and then of course the the same player Dorofeyev. He gets a second goal of the game at 16:52, assisted by Ben Hutton and Braden Bowman. And then that was the end of that. So we're tied at 2. We go into overtime. 3:58 in. Jake Evans gets a nice goal, assisted by Texier, and that ends it. He dekes out the goaltender, goes hits to the left and just backhands it behind the goalie. Great goal by Jake. Good to see him get a goal because, in my opinion, Jake was kind of legging a little bit, since being back, and that's normal from being back from injury. Kirby Doc, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen there. Um, I just honestly got to say, in this scenario, I do not know. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I could see Valeno wasn't all that in the beginning, but as the year went on, he really started playing extremely well, and I just don't know how we take him out of the lineup for Doc. To me, the coldest team guy on the team's Ben Bolduc. That's would have been the easier decision. Although, like I said, Doc's just I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but it is what it is. They're going to play him. They're going to try to get him back into the system. That's for sure. The scary part is they may do that with Lonnie, and I just hope they don't. I'd really rather see him go down to Laval and get a reconditioning stint, and maybe we get fortunate enough that I don't know. You do what was done for Texier and just try to drop him off your roster. That's what I would do, as my cousin and I were talking about. I think if that's possible, that's what you got to do. There's too many, there's no way you can sit Valeno, in my opinion. Um, and, if anybody or anything that should happen, and it's a shame, Bolduc, send him to Laval. And I think if he got some reps with Pascal Vincent, it would do him a whole lot of good to find his game. And so that's what we're going on about there. Still some lapses in our defensive game, especially it's more the communication, forwards coming back. Although they did a better job last night, but still a few lapses. But they did a much better job for sure. This was a good team effort. Dobes just really held them in this for sure, because there were some moments there. Now let's get to the big news. Uh, the big news, which I've been screaming for this for weeks, months, maybe a couple months. I wanted to see a goaltending coach upgraded, and Jeff Gordon announced it today. He relieved Eric Raymond of his duties, so he is no longer in charge of the goaltenders. They weren't responding to him. That was evident. However, I don't like that, and I've made it clear I do not like this system, and it seems to be right across the NHL. I don't think guys know how to use the butterfly system anymore. I think we had a breed of Carey Price, Patrick Waugh, and Martin Brodeur, and maybe Dominic Hasek, of guys that knew how to use the butterfly really well. And after that, maybe Tuukka Rask. Other than that, not so much. You look at the goaltenders today, and it seems even when the goals that were scored on Vegas last night they had the same problem in the net, and everybody seems to have that problem. Goaltenders are spending their times sliding on their knees, working from their knees. They're going down way too fast and just gliding from side to side on their knees. It's like they don't know. There's so many shots they could be stopping if they were standing up, because they just leave the whole upper net open. And at least Carey Price, Patrick Waugh, and Brodeur these guys knew that, and they didn't just automatically go onto their knees. They stood up when they had to stand up, and went to their knees when they had to in the butterfly. but they didn't spend their time gliding on their knees, playing flop. I call that flop. Today's goaltending to me is called flop. So anyway, I think it's a good move. Raymond out, and I think Marciano brought up from Laval, and I think honestly, I think this is may be a good move because he's got some history with Dobes, Fowler, and even recently when Monty was sent down. So I think this just may be a good, may it might be the right move for now. Whether it's the long term move, we'll find out. However, I think it's got to be better than what they had because these goaltenders seem to respond to Marciano down in Laval. When his time with Dobes, he got the best of the Dobes, and he was getting the best of the Fowler, and he started to see Monty came back better in a better sequence than he was most of the season. So it seems like this guy's got the goalies listen to him. He's got something. He seems to get through to them. Maybe that's the thing, communication, and sometimes a voice dies off in a room. Anyhow, they needed the upgrade. They did it. Let's see if they're going to carry this into the season, probably towards the end or at the end of the season, and evaluate it then. That's probably what's going to happen. I'd still keep my eye on, in my opinion. I've also said wouldn't mind a shake up for the defensive coach either. Because, that's just my opinion. So we got one. I think this is a positive move for the goaltenders. And Jakob Dobes looked really good last night. Like I said, he started shaky, but he got back into his groove. Just gotta not get too excited and lose his net. Work on that. And I think Marciano will calm that out of him down if Dobes can find his groove, and that looked really good last night. That could be a big positive for us right there. Next thing, what else is there? I still say we need a top six winger or center, whichever way they want to go. Just get a top six player. I don't think we should let that go. And I wouldn't even mind seeing a right-sided defenseman, big though, big stay-at-home defenseman. That's really good. Around the 28, maybe 28 years of age, around that point. I think that's also something not to exclude. Because in my opinion, I do not see, and I'll say it again, I do not see Reinbacher um, as an NHLer unless something really drastically changes. You still got time to develop, I suppose. I just when I watch him, I just don't see it. To me, he looks like a permanent AHLer. So I think we lost on that one. That's my opinion. He seems like a good kid. Unless something drastically changes, I don't see it. I'd go shopping for a big right defenseman, and then you can have you could ship out Stroops in a trade package. Maybe throw in I don't know, a couple of other players that you deem because you're starting to get a little logjam on forwards there because Newhook will be coming back as well. Um, who knows what you could throw together and maybe get a good either top six player or the defenseman. It's a choice they're going to have to make. I don't think they should do nothing. I think they need to do something because they got to settle that. Somehow something's got to give on that defensive end, and it's not only been the goaltenders. Yes, they've still, but we're starting to see some positive signs. But I think this goaltending coach change is going to be good for them. However, I did say this too. I would love to see us at some point find an expert that is of the Carey Price, Patrick Waugh, Martin Brodeur mindset that can get them away from this flop style because our boys don't succeed in this flop style. They just bury the shots above us. I'd like to see them actually teach these goaltenders how to use the butterfly correctly. That's what that means, standing up and stopping shots when you don't have to go down. They just automatically flop. And it's a league problem, actually. So I'd like to see us be the ones to turn the page back because we had better uh, systematic goaltending prior to with when we had the butterfly being done correctly by the greats and the stand up goaltending way back by the greats. And I think if you can combine those two things, which like I said, I still think uh, Waugh, Brodeur, and Carey Price were perfect examples, and Carey Price was probably the last example of how to do the butterfly correctly and stand up, um, and to stop pucks. So that's just my theory on that. And yeah, so with that being said, that's it. Um, let's hope. Let's see what happens. Let's hope this guy's enough to make the difference. Like I said, he did seem to spark something in those three goaltenders. So let's all the best to Eric Raymond. Uh, Sometimes it just has to happen. But I think this is a good move, and congratulations to Marciano. And let's see what happens if this is a permanent thing or he just gets them for the interim. And we'll see what happens. And let's hope there's more to come for the Habs, that they do a couple more things, because we gotta juice up a little bit, because Kirby's not looking himself, and who, no surprise, even Gooley doesn't look himself yet. No surprise, Newhook will be back. We need to bulk up and beef. We need some size on this team, and we need it desperately, because when we run into the big teams, and especially in our divisions, I think we're going to need it right after, in the stretch after the Olympics. So the sooner they can pull something off, I think the better. You've seen it here at Center Heights Productions. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you. And we heard that Dobes gets the start from his performance. He gets the start in against the Avalanche. So that's tomorrow night, and we'll see what happens.